And we are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Key where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. New comics come out at comic shops every Wednesday. We have like 24 hours to read as much as we can across DC, Marvel, indie comics, whatever we can in 24 hours, and then come on live on our live stream every Thursday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and I'm not alone. It's not just me talking. We got Jecky, aka Jecky Comics. Jecky, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I'm glad to have you back. This is your second time.
It is. It is. I'm excited.
I'm,
And it's
I'm.
and it's and it's not just two of us.
It's not just the two of. That's right. The first time around, it was just two of us, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which means that any other person that we have on the show, it's always going to be like a new thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we have on the show? We got Aaron, aka King Krakoa. Aaron, welcome back.
Hello. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's up?
Both of you guys like comics, right?
Yeah.
You'd be reading comics if it wasn't,
Level.
you know, with or without this show, you'd be reading, right?
Oh yeah. Every Wednesday there. You know where I'll be.
That's why you guys
sure.
That's why you guys are on here. For anyone out there who is watching, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or, you know, maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from on any of the major podcast apps. But if you are watching us live, let us know you're out there. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, tweet, don't tweet. Actually, don't tweet. Blue Sky, whatever the thing is that, you know, or whatever. Do what you need to do on social media.
Yep.
We are all over the place at The Keeg Show or / The Keeg Show. But let us know you're out there. Write a review. Do what you need to do. Now, because we had like some technical difficulties earlier, you know, it ate up a little bit of our time. We're going to get straight into it because we read a lot of books this week, and we're going to have to talk about literally all the books that we
Let's
read.
go.
You
I'm
know,
excited.
across the three of us. There's a lot of overlap, which I'm really excited because we've overlapped on a lot of books, and then we've read our own stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who feels up to the task to go through their list first? Should I do it? Because I rarely do it, and you know.
Yeah, you
Hey,
really
you're
go
the host.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Go
take it.
go
I'll
ahead,
take it
man.
off. I'll take it off
Take-
you guys' shoulders.
do it.
Take the lead.
All right. So what did I read this week? I'm making sure we're recording and everything. Yeah. All right. I read Batman 157. I read Absolute Superman 4. I read Wolverine 6, Avengers 23, Batgirl 4, Phoenix 8. I read Power Man Timeless 1, The Ultimates 9, JSA 4, Spectacular Spider-Men 12. I got halfway through Shazam 20, and that's pretty much it. That's my list.
A pretty long list.
It was a good week.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there was still, as
Yeah.
always, books that I don't get to, like that I'll
Right.
get to later,
Mhm.
like Rockefellers. I really wanted to read it, didn't get to read it. I didn't get to finish Shazam
That's
or
cute.
Two-Face #3, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Still a pretty good list, man.
Yeah. JK, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Alright.
So I read Batman 157, Star Wars Vader Legacy #1 by Marvel, Wolverine #6, The Avengers #23, Power Man Timeless #1, Absolute Superman #4,
4.
and Phoenix #8, and Justice League The Atom Project #2.
Oh, is it #2 or #3? I mixed it up.
It's #2.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Mhm.
All right. And then Aaron, what do you got?
Well, I guess it's my turn. So this week I read Phoenix #8, Batgirl #4, The Avengers 23, Wolverine #6. I've read half of that one actually. But Ultimates 9, JSA 4, Scarlet Witch 9, Rockefellers #3. Let me see. Spirits of Vengeance #6. Namor's #7. Power Man Timeless 1 and Star Trek Section 31. I'm sorry, section 31.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm
All
excited
right.
about that one.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, it was good.
I didn't know you were a Star Trek fan. Did I know that?
I'm a new Star Trek fan. So like I got into it when Star Trek Discovery came out, and then I just like started doing a deep dive on it, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And now I'm a Trekkie, guys. Like I'm
Oh,
like in
you're
my
like, you're like,
veins.
I'm committed now. I'm committed now.
Yeah, I'm a part of this. I get it. Like Picard, I get it. You know, like it makes sense now. I'm a part of the community, I guess. And
That's what's up.
and it's I found it's much easier to get into the community than Star Trek. I mean, than Star Wars. So we'll see. You know.
That's as someone who's part of the Star Wars community, yeah, like the Star Wars community sometimes is a
Yeah,
little problematic.
you got to
Sometimes,
be
sometimes,
in it already. You got to be in it from the jump, or just get
yeah,
out. You're posing, and like they
yeah,
won't accept it. And I'm
they
just
got
like, okay,
they got some serious gatekeepers over there.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's funny. I got into Star Trek when I was like when the first J.J. Abrams movie came out, like a little bit
Mm,
before it, because I was like, oh, this
those
new
two.
movie's coming out. I'm gonna
Hmm.
watch the shows. I'm gonna like catch up on a couple of things, and I did a little
Yeah,
bit. Then I watched the movies. I loved the movies, and I know it's not a
I love the
popular
movies.
opinion, but
Yeah,
like
I absolutely loved it.
those movies
No,
got people into Star Trek. You know?
those are
Yeah,
I thought they were excellent. I thought they
Yeah.
were great
yeah.
movies.
But like
Especially for
hardcore
people who
Star
didn't
Trek
know
fans
about
don't
Star
like
Trek.
it. You know?
That's true.
True.
That's true. That's
Facts.
true. That's true. Yeah.
But Zoe Saldana as a horror will always be that was always Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain.
Never
Not going to.
gonna say about that.
So out of all the books that came out this week, right? It was tough. Like it may be tough to pick a favorite. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have like one that you were like, yeah, this is my number one pick, an obvious
Mm.
first choice.
Mm. I'll go.
So you want to take it? You want to take
I'll
Jecky? Go ahead.
I'll go first. I was really torn between Batman and Absolute Superman. That last issue
Hmm.
for Chip Zdarsky, I was like, it was very on brand for him in terms of
Yeah.
like high stakes jump. He's always jumping out of something like in space or out of or out
Yeah.
of a plane. It was very on brand. And I enjoyed it. But I think ultimately I'm still giving it to Absolute Superman. That was
Okay.
probably, yeah.
Did we
Respectable.
all read Absolute Superman issue 4?
I didn't.
No. Are you not reading the Absolute stuff,
Mm-mm.
Aaron?
I'm not. I'm so behind on it. I haven't even finished the absolute thing that started all of this with Amanda.
Dude, it's
Like
so
that's
easy.
how behind
We
I
got to
am.
get you
Absolute
caught
power.
up.
Oh
Absolute, yeah.
yeah, I'm
Not
gonna say I don't even know where to start, and then I freak out, and I'm like, okay,
dude,
just
all you
gonna
got to
get to it.
do all you got to do is just like read these books. You don't have to read the lead up to it. Like you just
Yeah,
read
it's not
these
essential.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I would say I love an Amanda Waller story, and she like she's always going to be the like one of my favorite villains, like top five at least, always.
I mean, if
I
you
mean,
like
and
Amanda Waller, sure, read
absolute,
Absolute Power. But like
yeah,
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 this stuff,
yeah,
it's like Ultimate, like Marvel has Ultimate Marvel, DC has
right.
Absolute DC.
yeah,
Just,
Okay,
just
yeah.
hop on. You
okay,
have 4 issues.
all right.
Absolute Superman is four
We'll
issues here.
see. We'll
Um,
see. You Wonder Woman might be my jumping point.
okay, jump into Wonder.
One,
They're all great.
they're all
Okay,
really good.
Yeah.
okay. Say less. I got you.
Jakey, tell me what you thought about this one.
So I really liked it. So, spoilers for anyone who's gonna be jumping on. We get to meet that universe's Jimmy Holson, and
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. Like, I love what they're doing with the peacemakers being kind of like the enforcers of this world and super corrupt. I really enjoyed it. Like, it's coming from Lois's perspective. I think this one where she's trying to find this Superman. I like it. I like this version of Clark. He's more of a like alien. Like he's not really accustomed to our cultures. He's a proper like nomad in a way. Like, but everywhere he goes, the people he's helped are like protecting his identity because they know how special he is, and they're
Oh,
also. It's nice. It's been a great read. Like it's this if you don't know, this Superman came to Earth as a young adult.
Yeah.
So he got to experience the loss of
okay.
so he got to experience the loss of Krypton. He
Right.
remembers Krypton. So and he doesn't have the Kent's
I like that.
So he doesn't have the Kent, so he doesn't have the Clark Kent of the identity to lean on. So he's like a proper nomad, just hiding. Like he's working stories, and then when they discover him, he moves on to the next thing. It's been great.
Oh,
It's good.
okay.
It's good. It's really good storytelling.
Yeah. What I like about the absolute stuff is like they're attacking it by like how do we tell fresh new stories that are so different yet have the same soul. Like the character's soul is the same, even if they've been, they are
Right. In essence.
externally different. They got the
Mhm.
same soul. Like you think about like
Exactly.
if you were born in a different like situation, your soul
Right.
would be the same, hopefully, right? And
Right.
then you might be, you
Right.
know, struggling more or struggling less, but hopefully your soul
Right.
would be
There's
the
a
same.
little difference, but
Yeah. it- Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
The
Like you
I
still keep the essence, the true essence of who you are, even though like some things may change in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea was this universe, the original or the main universe is centered around Superman. This universe is centered around Darkseid, and he created this universe. So every hero at their core the same person, but one of their major advantages is taken away. So Superman doesn't have the Kents, Batman doesn't have, he's not rich. That's kind of like the idea behind it, because their lives are significantly harder in this world. Not that Batman's life in the regular world wasn't harder, it wasn't hard, but this is probably a little harder because he's not. You can do a lot of things when you're a billionaire. So,
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I don't want to use the term Mary Sue too much because I don't necessarily like it because I think it's like a hollow criticism of characters, but if the normal prime DC universe, their DC or their Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, if they are Mary Sue's, these series are about like dialing that down. Like, you guys know what Mary Sue's are? They're just like perfect. They're perfect, like the perfect
Yeah.
hero, the perfect
The
protagonist
yeah,
for your
perfect little.
story. No matter
yeah,
what, they're gonna
Hmm.
win because they're
yeah,
good and like
like
they
like
don't have
plot
any
armor,
flaws. Yeah,
plot armor.
yeah. So this is like them without plot armor in a way
Mhm.
because it's like sure bad things
Right.
will happen, but like they are good people. They will win. I mean, it's still plot armor. The writer is still writing the story that they want to write, but at the same
Mhm.
time, like
Hmm.
I don't know, it's really inspiring. I think, like the
Yeah.
absolute stuff,
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I like it. I don't know. Absolute Superman 4 was good.
Yeah. I like that concept. I might give it a. I might give it a shot. I like the concept of the awesome absolute Batman. So I might give it a try too.
I they're releasing Absolute Flash, which I'm very excited for because the art
Oh.
is amazing and the designs. So the concept of Absolute Flash is that the Flash is on the wrong side of the law and the rogues are on the good side of the law,
I like that.
and
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
they're there to capture him. I think they're there to
Okay.
stop him. So they're like the heroes, quote unquote.
Absolute Martian Manhunter looks so trippy. Like it looks like a proper trip.
Yeah,
Like
They're making an absolute Martian Manhunter.
yeah, it's
And a
weird.
Green Lantern too. Like but like
Yeah,
the I don't
That's
even
one
know
of my
how to
favorite superheroes.
I think I don't even know how to describe the art. It looks like it's just gonna be a trip, like a
yeah,
proper.
Yeah, most like John Jones like comics always like give like a very like trippy kind of art. Like
Hmm.
even like going back to like Black Knight when they showed him like on his like home planet, it was like more trippy and like how to put like 70s album covers, like
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. It's like when you Google the cover, it looks like it's just gonna be a trip.
yeah.
I think yeah.
It's funny
As I
because I
literally
don't know what
go
came
Google it.
first, but essentially the design for Martian Manhunter looks like a little like Play-Doh sculpture, but then
Yeah.
but online they showed the real Play-Doh sculpture of that and it looks the same. Like somebody made it, but I can't tell whether they made it out of Play-Doh and then
Yeah,
drew it and that's how they made their design or they drew it and then they made it out of like Play-Doh. Like it's weird looking.
I called it 70s.
Yep.
70s trippy art. Yeah, that's
It's like
exactly what it gives
it's
me.
like an
Yeah,
LSD trip. It's like Grant
Yep.
Morrison.
that's
It's
it.
like a Grant
Yep.
That's it.
Morrison
I didn't want to
sort of
say
thing. Yeah.
it. I was like,
Yeah, right. Like, give us a good black light and put the poster up on the board and let
Yeah.
us just like go into the zone, kind of. Yeah,
uh-huh.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what it gives for sure.
Mhm.
I'm excited for all of those. Green Lantern 2, because I think it's Joe. It's
Mhm.
it's Joe
So-
Mullen
oh, Mullen,
as
Mullen.
the
Oh, I
right
love
Joe?
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
And and I think the summary said the power of the ring is inside of her. I read a little bit of a summary, and it seems like John
so she's
Stewart's
like
gonna
the
be there.
Jade.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like a thing where some of the other lanterns are there, but they're gonna be mentors.
okay.
And I was like, this
I
seems
like
pretty
that.
solid.
Okay,
Yeah, I was like, this seems
okay,
solid.
I
All
like
right.
that. Give her a Jade moment. If her, oh, bring back Jade, guys, wherever she is in the
Jade's in
DC universe.
JSA.
God, is she? Oh, is she? Jesus,
She wasn't
that
in
lets
this
you know.
issue. She wasn't in the issue
That's
this
why.
week, but
Yeah,
like she is.
but
Yeah.
that's why. Okay, that's so good. I was like, I'm glad they're giving her work. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Um Aaron, what's your pick of the week?
Okay, so my pick of the week, it was a real tie between the Avengers 23 and Power Man, Timeless,
Hmm.
but I think it's going to be Power Man Timeless. I that comic always ends up surprising me that I like it more than I do every time, and I think I go into it with like because like I like Luke Cage, but I don't love Luke Cage. Like
Mhm.
like I'm not like let me go find me a Power Man and Iron Fist comic, but his stories in the Timeless has been really good. Like just like the story, like just how he has like basically every like all the heavy hitters powers, like
All of
the
them.
Hulk. He has like the Hulk, Sentry, was it Iron Fist? Like
Iron
I'm
Fist.
like, come on, bro. Like this guy, like talk about definition of OP. Like, and I
Yep.
and I fuck with it wholeheartedly.
This is his second appearance, I think, or third. I think it's his
Yeah.
second, right?
Um,
Third?
Technically third because they just showed a sneak peek of him in
Hmm.
like one of the like old like one of the little like special books that they do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I remember they had the one shot because Marvel likes to do a one shot
Yeah.
every year that is about like the timeline. So there
Hmm.
Right.
was
Yeah. That's
Timeless.
it.
Timeless.
There was Timeless last year. This year was
Hmm.
no. Time slide, time slip,
Time slide. Time
time slide,
skip. I
slide.
have
Right.
it. I have it right here.
That's
Let me see.
the Bishop
The
Cable
Bishop and
one.
Cable.
That was
Time slide.
time slide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh,
time slide was 2024. Timeless must have been 2023, and this is
yeah.
the spin-off of that. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I read it. I don't hate this one. I liked it, but I also think that like I don't necessarily like to see just gods fighting gods. It's not really my thing. But it's cool
Okay,
you
I
liked it.
get that then. Yeah, I like a good God fighting God moment. I think that's why I love like the Phoenix books, like and all that
Oh
stuff so much
man,
because I'm like,
I'm loving the Phoenix, man. I'm loving this. I'm
yeah,
loving
like
this.
I that was probably what that was one of my tentative picks. Like I was excited to hear or read that, and I love. We'll talk about that when we get into it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So what's funny is this week we have two Avengers books, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mhm.
Kind of.
also two books that have Luke Cage, and there's two books that have Black Cat.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of crossover. It's so I'm gonna pick my pick of the week is the Ultimates issue 9.
Okay.
Are you
Which
guys
was
reading
also
it? Are
about
you
Luke
guys reading
Cage.
it?
So I'm not reading
I
any
read this one.
Ultimates.
Okay, so Jakey's not. Aaron, you're not.
I read I read this one. Yeah.
You read this one? You didn't like it?
Yeah, no, I liked it. It was cute.
Okay.
It was a good little it was like a Luke Cage story. I liked it. It was
Yeah,
different.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. Are they like is the I don't know what Ultimate Marvel is doing per se. Like, what's the long term goals of it?
Yeah, well, where
You
where do we
know?
go with this? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but like this whole issue was pretty much Luke Cage, and
Yeah.
he gets sent to prison. And there's a twist at the
I
end,
like
right?
15.
There's a twist at the
Mhm.
end that I thought really like wraps everything up. So like
Mm.
he goes to the prison, he breaks out, or he's planning to break out, right? But what you
Mhm.
realize is that the in the whole issue, they're going back and forth between time, like 5 years ago, whatever. Like they're going through
Right.
different locations, and you're just meant to think like it's kind of back and forth,
Yeah.
and he breaks out, but then pe- I think he frees people, and then he gets himself purposely
Right.
caught again,
Yeah.
and then they move him to another prison, and
Yeah.
and the twist is that he essentially just goes from prison to prison doing
Freeing
prison
people.
breaks, freeing people, and then getting thrown back in because he got
He's
his Luke Cage power by the same, like, what we're assuming is like Iron Lad. You know how like
Mhm.
well, Jeky doesn't know because he's not reading these ones, but like
Mhm.
Iron Lad gave Peter Parker his powers. Like he gave all the
Yeah.
heroes their powers in this, because this is a
Okay.
world where they've never fully like lived up to their potential, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
And so Luke Cage, like a box appears in his cell, and he like opens it, and then he gets his powers of Luke Cage.
Okay.
But he
The only
didn't have
thing.
those powers before.
Okay. The only thing I picked up the trade for Black Panther. I think the
Oh God.
first
Yes.
5 volumes. I was like, I'll
That's
start
the
there.
best.
I was like, I'll start there,
Yeah.
then I'll go to Spider-Man, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I'll
Right.
start with those two. So yeah,
I mean,
I'm creeping into the Ultimates. I'm like, all
the
right,
art on Black Panther, on the Ultimate Black Panther alone is amazing.
The
yeah,
art is so good. It makes me,
uh-huh,
you know, like
Yeah.
there's certain artists that you just wish did like 5
more,
titles, or
Yes.
but they can't, right?
Yes.
right,
Because they
Yes.
can't physically do that much.
yeah,
But
Right.
like that's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I'm a sucker for someone who can draw a good fade, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
he had the beard, the shape
The
up.
beard. Yes.
I
I
was like, all
swear.
right. I was
I
like,
was
I
like,
know this
for
is
the
a black
culture,
man.
I
I
feel
know this is
it.
a black man.
Actually, here's the thing. I don't think
Is it?
I
Watch.
don't think the artist
Is
is
it
black.
right?
That'd be hilarious.
I looked it up. I looked it
Look,
up once.
it's some
well,
redhead named Jake who's drawn the hell out of a good
well,
little fade.
well, he is invited to the cookout.
All of them, every single one.
It's yeah, he's not. No, he's not black. That was one of the things that I noticed about that book, is that like
Crisp.
well, because 10, 15 years ago, like black hair in
Oh,
comics
Yeah.
non-existent.
You don't even have to go that far.
Yeah.
Right.
When do you guys think was the change? Like what?
Uh,
Oh man.
Like where
you
people
know what I
started to
think has
learn how to
changed?
draw it?
Ultimate Spider-Man, when Miles Morales came into the picture.
Probably Miles
That
Morales.
is like, because that was like the first time I actually saw, I was like, oh, they got the shape up, everything, and like going and everything. I was like, yeah, I think that was like that was around the first time they started getting it. And I was like, okay, maybe we do need to
Yeah.
learn, textures,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, last month I read Green Lantern War Journal Volume 2, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
John Stewart's got the military fade. I was like, all right,
They
cool.
be
I
getting good at
respect that.
John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because
they
originally
do
when they
John right
had
every
him with
time.
the little fro when he first came out, with no shape up, I
Oh,
was like, can we
we
not
don't
do
talk
this to the
about
man?
Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
It's
It
Bruno for
just
sure.
It's
that was a dark time in his past, and we've grown to
There,
become one of the greatest Green Lanterns.
there was no barbershops in space
There
apparently.
was no barbershops on Oa, so we had to work with what we did. Like Kilowog was
Like,
just out there, just trying to do his best, and
yeah,
like it's what we had.
it wasn't working.
it's
It
like
wasn't
in
working.
space, like a lot of those aliens don't even have hair. So
Uh-huh.
like
That
the
part.
barbers are probably like, look, we're trained in 2 different styles: white people's hair and like tentacles.
Right.
Like you got tentacles, we can do
Like,
tentacles and
right. Do
white
you
people
need
hair.
some gel? We can do that, but that's about.
It just reminds me of the 90s, like where in cartoons, like it was
Oh,
always just a high top fade, and that was it.
Always.
Every
yes.
character had the
Always.
same hair.
Always.
I
Oh my
remember
God.
this.
Oh man, the
Um
good old days, guys.
but
You
yeah,
come.
Ultimate Black Panther, the art is amazing, and
Hmm.
like I mean, and Storm's my girl.
Oh,
Storm's my
Yep.
girl. Like the
They do her
the artist,
justice.
it's
No,
just
Even
on
the
that
two
one, I feel like she's
villains.
off.
what'd you say?
I feel like. Oh, what'd you say, Jakey?
I was like, even the two villains with the suits, I was like Khonshu and Ra, I think. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, they look solid. I was like, these look like
yes,
good villains. I was like, this is
hard,
solid. I was like, I fuck with this.
right? Big time, big time.
Aaron, were you saying you don't like Ultimate Storm?
Um, so I like her. I don't know. I feel like they could draw her. There's something missing or something off about her that I'm like, I like it, but like maybe I don't know. I feel like she looks. I like the fact that they made her a little bit younger, but I feel like she looks a little bit too young. I guess I don't know.
I think
She
what's
also looks like.
missing. Oh, what were
Go
you gonna
ahead.
say, Jackie?
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say what's missing is like her being like a regal goddess.
Yeah.
Like she's not, in Ultimate Black Widow.
Yeah, but I
hmm
kind of like that. I
Yeah,
kind of like the fact that she doesn't like. She's just the girl who grew up on the streets, just trying to, be the revolutionary
hmm
instead of just being that we should go straight into her being worshipped as a god. Like, let her gradually get into it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Jackie?
Yeah, I was gonna say exactly what you said. Like she looks like almost like scrappier. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like I was like,
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, because like I'm thinking about the potential. I'm like, all right.
yeah,
This.
yeah,
true, true. Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
yeah. What are some other books that really well? Oh, Batman 157 was brought up as a
hmm
Oh
contender
yeah,
for a pick of the
hmm
week. I mean, I read it. I don't know. Wait,
I didn't read it.
J.K. read it. Aaron didn't read it.
hmm
Y'all
I
know
want
I
to I
don't
want to
fuck with
hear your thoughts
Bruce.
about it because it was Chip Zdarsky's last issue.
hmm
Next issue of Batman is Hush
Hush
2,
too.
written by Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb's coming back for Hush
Yeah.
2
With Jim Lee too.
with Jim Lee. And I
hmm
don't know how I feel about it. I got to see it to,
Yeah.
to fully, you know, digest it. But this was the final issue, and Chip Zdarsky does love his whole "the city is crumbling down, one
Yeah.
final battle in the street." Like
Yeah.
he did it with
Yeah.
Daredevil. He did it with
Yep.
right.
He
And,
loved that.
he does it here. How many times is there going to be like the city is burning and I'm the
Right.
only one to
Right.
stop
He
it?
loved the good brawl.
Like I know this is fiction, but like my man crashed a plane on the street in Gotham, jumped out the plane as it was crashing, and just went straight into fist. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, all right, that's okay. Like, go ahead, Chip.
Right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Aaron, are you reading any of this Batman?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Bruce don't get along.
Oh, I didn't know. Did I know that?
Yeah, yeah. I have repeatedly told you. Look, I'm not a fan of Bruce. Love the Bat Family. Hate
Mm.
Bruce. Like it just Bruce just like go to therapy and stay in therapy and know that and just like love yourself finally. But like yeah, the kids. Oh, I fuck with them hard.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tim. Like Cassandra Cain. She is one of my favorites. She's my favorite, which ironically is why I wear Batgirl #4. But
Yeah.
yeah, the kids. I love all them, but no, except for Jason. But we don't have to
Yeah.
talk
I'm
about.
good on I'm good on Jason too. Like I'm like
Be good off Jason. Like
Look,
Jason is always gonna be his worst enemy. Like he is truly his father's son.
yeah.
I I don't know if you got quick thoughts, Jakey, about Chip Zdarsky's run as a whole, but like I liked it and I didn't know where it was going, and then it was going somewhere, and then this one kind of ends, and I feel like his run got cut short.
Yeah.
His run both got cut short or went on 10 issues too
Too.
long. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't, because like there's the one issue with the clone. You remember that
Mhm.
issue?
Mhm.
That made me cry.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you know what I'm talking about? The issue where the clone is aging up?
Yeah.
That
No, like
killed me.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed most of it. I do agree though. It feels like this last, I'm gonna call it arc, the last
Yeah.
5 felt like rushed. Like they kind of brought back the Quarter Owls just to bring in the Quarter Owls with Riddler, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna end this. Like I was like, it was very abrupt.
Yeah.
Like to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you're gonna bring the Quarter Owls, that's something you kind of need to commit to a lot.
You don't need to
You know.
half-ass it. Yeah.
Yeah, like just 3 out of 5 issues, and then that was it. And then they're like, "Oh, now the Quarter Owls are apparently in Russia," and they're like, "Actually,"
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, that
Yeah.
was
Like Batman, like out of all of Batman's, like Court of Owls is one of those like villains that I know that I kind of love, and like they're more methodical. I feel like that's a story that should be like brought out like through
I
like
agree.
the whole series. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of the Court of Owls, so I'm
Oh,
okay.
What?
I
Bat
I
that's
don't.
crazy.
Batman versus the Illuminati? No.
Right
Well,
against the Illuminati, exactly. You
I
know,
don't.
the rich against the rich. We love it.
I don't like it. They do this in like movies where it's like oh, we're introducing a new bad guy who has always been the bad guy behind the scenes this whole time. You just never noticed.
Mhm.
They did it. I think they did it with like Fast and the Furious. They did it with James Bond. They do it with Batman. They've done it with like I think Mission Impossible. I think like any of these action series, they always introduce a guy who's like, you know who killed your wife? Me.
Right.
You know who kicked your dog? Me.
Right. And
It's
I've
Right,
been watching you this whole time.
the only time
right.
it works. The only time it works is with Eobard Thawne in The Flash when he was like Barry. It was me all along because like he's been hopping through the time stream just to fuck with Barry. That's the only.
And
That's peak.
okay, and we're doing the X-Men with Moira and kind of Mr. Sinister too. Like both of those, I feel like were done pretty well.
I did like
Like
it. Yeah.
Moira, when you find out that Moira has been a mutant this whole time, out of all this, and like the way, my thing is, I can deal with those stories as long as they find a way to they find a way to put it in to where you're like, oh, all the pieces match up, like where you can tell they did their research on like, okay, there was a space in between that, so maybe in that time, like as long as the story's done right or to where like I can believe it, I think that's where they do good work, and I think that's why I end up liking the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for Quarter Hours, they kind of made it like Bruce. He looked into it when he was younger, but he's so
Yeah.
arrogant, which that's always been one
Hmm.
of his biggest weaknesses. Like he's
Yeah.
so arrogant, and
Pride.
he's like, since I didn't find them when I was younger, clearly they must not exist. You know, like
Right.
that. It's like his
That's
arrogance.
exactly it.
It's like his arrogance ends up being the reason he doesn't know that because he's just like clearly they don't exist if I didn't find them. So like I find that plausible because Bruce Wayne's arrogance sometimes gets in its way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I don't know. Uh, nah, I got nothing to say. I'm gonna keep reading Batman, but at a certain point, like I'm just reading it out of obligation to the character because I do love Batman. I do love Batman, but like he needs to grow up in a way, right?
That part.
And I thought that like
Like,
Chip Zdarsky was like leading us to it, you know? There
give him
was like
growth.
certain things, but nah.
There's
Give
also
him growth.
there's also so much Batman out there. Like
Yeah.
between
Oh,
it's like
that's
Detective
it.
Comics,
Or the miniseries.
yeah, the miniseries, which I actually liked. But Batman and Robin, there's just so much out there. It's easy to get a little burned out, but I'm a Batman fan,
This
so
man
Yeah.
Bruce is always gonna have like 2 or 3. Like him and Wolverine will always have at least 2 or 3 books out at the same time
mhm.
congruently for no reason, and it'll be a throwback to something that they did or like, and people gonna eat it up. You know?
I'm gonna be
I
honest, Marvel's been like easing up on Wolverine a little bit. Because he doesn't
mm.
have as many series as he used to.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
Uh,
Wolverine. There's Wolverine Vengeance, and he's on
Oh,
the X
Revenge,
Men.
yeah. Yeah.
Revenge.
Yeah.
He's on the
he was just
Uncanny
on
X
a
Men.
Yeah.
right. He was just on something else. He just had another issue where he was on another team, like the Howling Commandos last week, I think. Right?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Hellhunters, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hunters. Yeah.
You're
Mhm.
right, you're right. But still not Batman level. Batman is
Oh no, you're right. Batman's everywhere.
Yeah. Oh
Batman's yeah.
no, for sure. Totes my goats.
Yeah.
He's definitely number one and not number two.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wanna touch on Avengers 23 and
Yes,
move this forward. Going
please.
back and forth from DC to Marvel, DC to Marvel. And we'll hit some Image comics too. But like Avengers 23, I read this one. Who read it?
I read it.
I did.
Oh, we all read it. I
Yeah,
don't know. I liked this issue
I
and the
like it.
last issue.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
it's a different kind of thing. I don't know what
Yeah.
you guys thought.
It's a different take on Avengers for sure. I love this. Like I didn't like the last couple Avengers runs I've actually loved, and I love Storm in it. Like seeing Scarlet Witch and Storm, and like even getting the remembrance of like Captain Marvel and Storm being friends like from back in the day. Like I like this, but this was a fun one with just like them chasing Black Cat and Kang. Like
Yeah.
it was simple, like, and I absolutely loved it. I would absolutely love them to do like a thief off with Black Cat and Storm. That would be amazing. But like I was hoping that they would like get into it a little bit more. But I was like, okay, this is still a fun book, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some team ups you didn't know you never thought about, but when it comes together,
Yes.
you're like, the Kang and
Okay.
Black Cat running together. I was like, this
Right.
is hilarious. This is
Yes.
like that's like out of all the people to like ask to help him, he goes to Black Cat, but somehow it works, and I was like, all
Literally.
right, I liked it.
Yes. It
Yeah.
absolutely works.
Hmm.
It makes me wonder that like maybe Black Cat's being held down by Spider-Man, like her connection with Spider-Man, because I've liked a lot of Black Cat stuff when she teams up with other people. So like
Yeah.
there was that Tony Stark Black Cat sort of thing where like Black
I
Cat
kind of like
she
that.
got like the suit and I liked it, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. I forget what
I
that
won't
run
mind them
was.
hooking up.
But like, did they hook up?
I don't know. I said I wouldn't mind it though. If they
Yeah.
have like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised. Like I could definitely see Tony and Felicity just like, just one day, just like why not?
Well, they
Right.
would just do it once and one time. Like,
Right.
Hmm.
If Captain Marvel and Doctor Strange can have a set a BF buddies, then they can do it.
wait, they
Yeah.
are Doctor Strange and
They
Captain
Yeah,
Marvel.
in the with Kelly Thompson, yeah, they frequently in the like end of it they're like, fuck buddies kind of. Yeah, it's weird.
I didn't know that. That I have to wrap my head around that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
she was going through her little addiction phase where she had to try to get out of like not wanting to drink, and yeah, he
uh,
was there, and
right.
Interesting.
that was her. Yeah.
Huh.
Went to the doctor. True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally went to the doctor. I love that. Yes. 5 points for Gryffindor. Oh
Uh,
Jesus.
I wanna see some like that actually makes me start thinking. I mean, Captain Marvel used to hook up with Rhodey, right?
Yeah,
Now they don't.
I love them.
Mhm.
I actually love them together, and I miss them
I think
actually.
it's an interesting matchup because they're both like ex-military, and I think that's
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
okay,
That's probably yeah.
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But it is what it is. I do want to see Black Cat not hooking up with, but teaming up with Rocket Raccoon. I want to see a Rocket Black Cat
That
team up.
that that would be
Would
amazing.
be funny actually, and I would love that actually.
Yeah, just
Recent
something to think
That would
about.
be amazing.
Recently, I found an old comic I had, and it was Rocket Raccoon and Johnny Storm just
Oh,
getting into it,
Wow.
just getting into like the most random like shenanigans,
yeah.
like like his ship crashes, he needs to build it, and he goes out at night with Johnny Storm, and it's just shenanigans, and I was like, this is so
I
fun.
love it.
Did you
Just
did you guys read that Fantastic Four issue where Johnny falls in love with this alien?
mm-mm.
That doesn't narrow it
What
down,
the
but
one
I
from
mean, what I
Right.
mean
like
is,
he was soulmates?
yeah,
They were soulmates with each other?
yeah,
Yes, I read that. I actually liked it. But
and
then
people
like
got
she just
upset.
disappeared.
People got upset that like because she wasn't like humanoid, she was like a head
She
with
had
like
like she was kind of like Bird.
no,
She was like
she was like
the one with the wings,
tentacles.
right?
No, she was like, oh no,
Oh,
you're talking about
Oh,
that one. No, there was like an issue maybe like 6 months ago. Basically,
oh,
what happened was it was basic. I forget what happened, but like something happened in the timeline that like diverges the timelines, and the Fantastic Four gets
mm,
stuck on the timeline where Earth dies and then kind of like re-evolves. So all the people
mm,
on that Earth, they're not
human.
humans.
Uh-huh.
They're like a different, wholly different like alien race that's on Earth
huh,
after everything has died and then like millennia later. And so like, but they got to go
mm.
back in time and then cause
The
that
reverse.
timeline to not exist anymore.
Mm.
And
Look here.
but the way they do it is they purposely create a diverging timeline, but Johnny can never be back with his alien soulmate. And they have to live on
Damn.
their own timeline.
Look here.
They always have him in something messy though. Like they always have like so whenever they
Right?
want something messy, it's like Johnny's usually the
But
guy.
that's so
It's
sad. It
always
was
Johnny.
so sad. But
Mhm.
also,
Yeah.
she wasn't humanoid, so
Mhm.
people got upset because like you couldn't clearly see like alien boobies. You know what I mean? Like because there's no like they weren't like people were like, oh, so Johnny Storm can like fall in love with somebody who isn't like visibly female,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like people got
Right.
upset.
And
Mm,
I'm like, this guy's notably bisexual. Like, he's gonna fall in love with whatever.
Is it
But
canon?
yeah.
Like I
yeah,
can
oh
I
yeah, it's
can
very
believe
much
it.
canon.
I can believe
Yeah,
it, but Marvel's been shy about it.
Uh,
yeah, no, it's very much canon. There's even a cool little page of like docking
Yeah.
him, like docking, like putting his clothes on. I'm like, oh, this is we know what's happening here, and like he leaves. I'm like, okay. They're the most chaotic bisexuals in Marvel, so it makes sense. It would totally make sense.
yeah. He just loves everything. Like
He's
he's
just
like
here, right? He's just here for the vibes.
yep,
That's it.
just
But
He's just here
he
vibes.
for the
doesn't
vibes. That's all it is.
he doesn't publicly date men though. And
Yeah, yeah. It's just a something to do.
okay. All right. It's like some okay. Johnny needs therapy, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Just like,
Johnny needs therapy for
you know.
It's
sure.
funny. I was just talking to my best friend yesterday about this, and he was saying, when are they gonna settle Johnny down? He was like, the amount of women Johnny's
Right,
been with, he should have a child by now.
right.
Like, it's
Honestly,
like Johnny
he
should be.
definitely has like one or two love children out there on
Yep.
different Earths, on like on some like for sure. Like the fact that they haven't come up with a story like this little girl just gets
Just
dropped
pulls
off
up,
on the
just pulls up
yes,
at the Baxter building, like yo.
perfect. Oh man, Marvel, if you're listening, if you want us to write that for you, I got you,
That
man.
would be a great
Johnny being
storyline.
a single dad to
But
a
Right,
daughter.
right,
I
Oh,
right.
love the idea of
Yeah.
a daughter getting dropped off the step
yes,
and he's like testing the daughter like to see
Yeah.
if they have
right,
superpowers.
Yeah, and then
right,
have
yes.
and because then you have Sue as the aunt, like the dynamic will be great. And if you want to
Oh my gosh, right?
plug something a little younger into the Fantastic Four family,
Yeah.
that would work.
Y- she would definitely work. She could be like on age with like Deadpool's daughter
Hmm.
and stuff like that. That would be
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, I
The
was
thing
just thinking like a bait, like just give him a baby and like
have have
give
the
him.
thing be
I thought
have
she,
the thing be his babysitter. Come on now,
I
that would be
thought she should be
perfect.
like 5 years old. She hangs out with the Things kids.
Yeah,
Because I love their Korean squirrel daughter and son. I absolutely thought that
Mhm,
yeah.
was a good idea.
mhm.
I forget their names.
I forget their names too.
But yeah. Anyway, Fantastic Four
Right,
comics
let's get
are
into
really fun, you know. Um,
they are. They are.
They're Marvel's first family.
After what not after what they did to Franklin though. We don't talk about Bruno.
here's
Ugh.
let's see what I read Wolverine number 6, and I don't know if you guys did, but I am
I did.
liking
It's
this
cute.
one, and I also just realized that it's written by Saladin Ahmed, and I didn't realize that going into it.
Hmm.
I forgot. Maybe
I
I
know
read
that
it and I
name.
forgot, but I mean,
What have they
I like
written?
this run right now.
What is Saladin written? I feel like I know that name.
So Saladin Ahmed wrote Miles Morales
That's the one. Okay.
before Cody Ziegler took over, right?
Okay, yep.
So Saladin Ahmed wrote that. Then Saladin Ahmed went over to Daredevil, and he's writing Daredevil right now. But like, people aren't really digging his Daredevil. Like, I'm okay with it, but
Mhm.
like, after Chip Zdarsky
After
left
Chip,
Daredevil,
yeah.
it's
Chip ate
tough.
that up, yeah.
It's tough,
That was the
Yeah.
you
first
know.
time I ever read a Daredevil, and I absolutely loved it.
Mhm.
So but I'm digging his Wolverine, and like the premise. Are you guys reading this one or not?
I am.
Yeah, I like the premise of it, which is that like adamantium is the false metal of the gods, and the real
Mhm,
metal of the gods is
Hmm.
adamantine, and because that's
mhm.
the actual
Huh.
it's an actual mythological metal.
Yeah.
Um, and
I've heard of
that
Adamantine,
like
but I was like, I figured it would have been reversed.
what?
Like adamantium would have been the real one, and that would have been adamantine would have been the fake one. But that makes sense, honestly.
Yeah. It's just it's an interesting premise. I do hate though. I hate who pops up at the final page. Jeky, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I wasn't super familiar with him. I had to look him up a little bit, and I was like,
Who is it?
okay, it's like what's his name? Like
I
apparently
didn't
he's a
finish it.
His name's Romulus.
Romulus. Romulus.
Oh my God! I was just about to say Romulus, and I was hoping you were gonna. It was going to say no. God, people like I know for one thing, true Wolverine fans hate Romulus.
I hate
Like
him.
Romulus he is such a he's a MacGuffin kind
he's
of.
unnecessary.
Yeah, very unnecessary.
Talk about
very
like
unnecessary.
he's very much like that type of villain that's like, I've been behind you this whole time.
Right, this whole time. Yeah.
He is the Mr. Sinister for Dakin, actually. Yeah, like
Yeah.
hero, he's definitely like he's ruined that man's life.
It
He's
feels
so
like
unnecessary.
it feels like they were like, okay, like we want to plot, but we don't think Sabretooth is smart enough for this, so let's just like plug
Right.
someone else.
Hey, you guys remember that wolf guy Romulus, right? Like let's see what he can do again. Like,
Hmm.
like I know that one day there will be a story for Romulus to fit in to be here and be a good villain. Like maybe for like Wolfsbane or something like that, but not for Wolverine.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's
And
it's
I don't.
it's oh, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Romulus's whole backstory is really dumb because he's essentially like there's he like the original backstory is like a retcon where like this species evolved from canines instead
Like
of
werewolf, yeah.
primates.
Hmm.
So they're called the lupines, and I had to like re-look it
Yeah.
up. And that like Wolverine and those type of characters are also
Yeah, Wolfsbane and
they're
all them.
lupine also, and like it's just really dumb. It's just really dumb. We don't
Yeah.
need that retcon of
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Because I actually found out what that retcon was like. They said that like there was going to be like a whole like a big battle for mutants, like the Wolverine, the Lupine mutants, the Celestial mutants, like the one that I think Mike Carey tried to do with like the Nephilim and the demon mutants. There was apparently supposed to be like a big like species battle, but they never did it, and like it just stopped right there. So now it just looks probably stupid, and it probably would have definitely still been stupid because like
Yeah.
who asked for that? But like, I felt like it would have made more sense after maybe.
Yeah, sometimes when you go for really and then back and then you try to create these old plots and but
Yeah.
make it relevant to current, it just doesn't work. Sometimes it's just
Sometimes, yeah.
sometimes you
Just gotta leave it there.
yeah.
Just gotta leave it there.
Let's hop over to we gotta pick up the pace a little bit towards the end of this episode.
Let's do it.
Let's talk Rockefellers because I didn't get to read it. Aaron, you were the only one who read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You like this
It was
issue number 3?
It was good. I need to read the first 2 issues because like I can tell like it was some stuff that I missed for sure. But I absolutely kind of liked it. It's like for some reason I don't know why it reminded me of Meet the Robinsons. And I don't know why that's something that
Yeah.
reminded me of. But it was like they're trying to figure out basically what secret the secret in their family. There's like a secret in their family or something that happens.
Yeah.
And like I wrote a bunch of notes on it, but like but it's interesting to see where they go from there. Like it's the family like are starting to uncover things about themselves and like a secret that they don't know. But I got to read the next one to see what's going on because yeah.
Aaron, were you on the episode where I talked about this and I compared it to Phil of the Future?
No, I wasn't.
No, who was somebody was on it,
That's
but
amazing.
basically the premise is almost like, yes, sure, it's like a witness protection or like a
In time. Yeah.
yeah, like they're
Yes,
from the future
right,
going back in the past.
Witness protection through time. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I also compared it to Phil of the Future from Disney Channel. If
Oh my
they
God, I
were
love that.
if they were running from a bad guy from the future, like it is
Mhm.
Phil of the Future,
Right.
Mhm.
but with a more action oriented element to it.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Do you guys remember Lost in Space?
Oh my God,
Which
throwback.
one? Which
Yeah.
Jesus.
one?
So either the old school or the one on Netflix a few years ago.
Mm.
Like when I read
Hmm.
the first issue here, I was like, it felt like Lost in Space, but instead of in space, it's in time. You know, like the family dynamics and everything. And I was like, this feels like
Yeah,
Lost in Space, but in time. And I
Mm.
was like, I kind of
for
rocked with
sure.
it. Like I actually enjoyed the first issue. Like
Yeah,
I was like, it's different. I like
Yeah.
it.
I'm really loving. I mean, you got to find what works for you, but like the Ghost
for
Machine
sure.
imprint of Image Comics, like puts out a bunch of different stories, and you don't have to
Hmm.
read everything.
Hmm.
I don't read Geiger and I don't
Hmm.
read Rook Exodus, but I do
Hmm.
read Redcoat. I read Rockefellers. I read Hornsby and Halo, and I read Hyde Street.
I hear a lot of good things about Geiger and Redcoat. Like
Okay,
every time I go to my comic book store, like the guy's raving about those
yeah,
two.
I'm not hating on Geiger. I just
Mm-hmm.
like it just never really like stood out to me. So
Mm-hmm.
Redcoat though is super fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to check it
Um,
out.
I wanted to make sure to touch on Rockefellers before this episode was over. Uh, let's quickly get through. Yeah, let's quickly get through all of these. Batgirl issue number
Let's
4.
do it.
Who read it?
I did.
Quick thoughts. You got quick thoughts?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely loved it. I love seeing it was basically a issue about Cassandra and her mother Lady Shiva like hashing out their relationship and like talking about like, difficult times, which I absolutely loved. I've always wanted like them to have like some kind of like closure or like some kind of communication. So like just seeing this like personal relationship grow and like see what happens, it was really good. I love that girl.
Hmm.
Um, I I liked this issue. Though maybe not as much as I liked issues 1 and 2, but like I liked this issue, and I'm it's
Okay.
one of my top series right now. So
Hmm. Yeah, you were telling me
Okay,
last time.
respectable.
You were telling me last time that you really enjoyed. I'm still thinking about jumping into it. I thought I was going to. I ended up not picking it up because the store didn't have issue 3, and I was like, yeah. So I didn't pick it up this
Hmm.
week. Yeah.
I just realized that I didn't mention that I read Birds of Prey this week.
Mm.
Did you guys read Birds of Prey?
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
I was going to, but I had too much.
So like Cassandra is in both, right? Like Cassandra Cain has
Hmm.
Batgirl and then also Birds of
Yes,
Prey. And
my girl's
Birds of
starting to
Prey
get her
has been
shine.
so solid.
Mm.
Are you guys reading Birds of Prey?
Oh, okay, good.
No, no, not yet.
I haven't. I don't think I've read it since the first one. And like, but the one I read, the first one was good though. I liked it.
Birds of Prey issue number like I don't know what issue are we on?
It's like
18.
18.
Oof.
It's been really good, and like what's really good about this series is they know how to split their characters up.
Mm.
And so like some
That's
characters go
good.
on one
Yeah.
mission, some characters go on another. I was gonna bring up in Avengers 23 that it's not the full team that's in Avengers 23, and that we haven't
Yeah.
seen Black Panther since
Yeah.
he went off into that
Right.
like pocket
Yeah.
Into
universe.
the
Well,
the prison universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not trying to work with his ex-wife, man. He's like, I'm gonna be
Literally,
over
bro.
here.
That was my favorite line when Storm said, he said going on T'Challa going on a solo mission to avoid having a hard conversation with the
Yeah.
ex-wife. That tracks for T'Challa, and I was like, yes. I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely tracks for T'Challa.
Yeah, I was just telling someone on
Him
social
and Bruce,
media, like,
him and Bruce are the same.
yeah, I was telling someone on social media, if I was Black T'Challa, I would be giving Sam the side eye all day because Sam invited her to join the team.
Right,
I'm like,
without even
bro,
talking to me.
this is bro code violations. These are some serious violations. You got my ex-wife in
Right,
here? Like,
real talk. And you ain't even like shoot me a text or nothing.
right.
Like in his defense, like him and Sam are just becoming cool again, but
Hmm.
still, like
That's a,
that's something that you could have warranted. Like, hey, just
yeah,
to let you
yeah,
know, look,
yeah.
like
Don't
your girl
don't
might be here in a little bit, but
right. Don't just
I
pull
wasn't
up
free.
with her. Don't just pull up and she's walking in with you. Like, what's
Okay, The one who he said his greatest failure. What? Come on now, like,
Look, I'm okay. So
which makes sense, and I love that.
I'm of a very specific. It's like my hot take is that I don't like Black Panther and Storm together.
Oh yeah,
I don't like them like
Ooh.
romantically
yeah.
together. I do find the fact that they're exes way more interesting, that they're exes that have to work together.
Yes,
But also the fact is like, look,
honestly, yes.
like Black Panther, Black Panther's my king, Storm's my queen, but I
hmm
also, in a weird way, I don't think Black Panther is good enough for Storm, I think that both of
For
them
sure.
can find someone better for each other, for themselves that's not each other, you know?
Yes, I agree with that. Honestly, I agree and I don't agree for like there's like a 25% of me that's like I would like them to be together, but like seeing who they are together and like seeing their relationship like evolve and become what it is, it makes sense that like they would just be exes now
Yeah.
because of like everything. Like, it like the whole thing is like he wouldn't be secret, he was like withholding things from her. And
Mhm.
like I think that was a smart way to make them exes. But I've said it before, and I said it all the time. I love her with the new guy she's with, the human Craig,
Yeah,
the
Craig.
black
Yeah.
NASA scientist.
Mhm.
That absolutely tracks. Like I love for her to be with someone who's like who gets it, like.
Mhm.
And he gets it, like, okay, I'm gonna let my queen go out and do her thing, and then I'll be here, when you
Mhm.
get back, and we can do our own thing. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think she needs someone who respects the fact that she's, just at the same level, if not more, about certain
Mhm.
things. And I think
Yeah.
that's where her and T'Challa kind of, yeah.
I
I feel
think
like if they were older, like they could probably be together. Like when they get
This
like older and they're like, okay,
That's what
we
I was
settle
gonna
down.
say. Like, I love them when they ruled Wakanda together. I love to see that, like, because
Yes,
that was amazing. But
I love that.
now that
Absolutely.
he's no longer in
Yeah,
Wakanda, I'm like, I like, maybe like you said, when they're older, they can get back together, like, do their own thing. But like for
yeah,
now, I
yeah.
think it makes sense though.
I just I don't know. Sometimes I think
I
that
think they
like
only work if he's not king.
Hmm.
interesting. I think he's too arrogant and self-centered.
Yeah,
I think he's
Yeah,
gonna mess up with Storm
yeah.
again. You know?
yeah. That's gonna get complicated. There's gonna be a
Oh, for
mission where it's
sure.
gonna get complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna get stuck in close quarters.
Hmm.
Let's keep
We're gonna
moving
get a
forward.
double date with her and Scarlet Witch Vision.
I also don't like Scarlet Witch and Vision together. Like
Ooh.
I don't need them together.
I don't either. Thank you for saying that. Oh God, Dimitri, I feel so seen. Oh yes, I hate it.
Like,
I love that what they got the kids, but no.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let them co-parent if they're gonna co-parent. But
Yeah,
yeah.
let
give me
Scarlet Witch
Doctor
date,
Voodoo.
you
Yeah, and
know?
she's got some issues. She needs therapy
Yeah,
herself.
Yeah.
So
I need
Um
her. True, but I need her with Doctor Voodoo again. That's all I'm gonna say
who
about
read Scarlet
that.
Witch issue number 9? I didn't get to read it.
Ooh, ooh, I did.
Okay. So that's
It was
another issue
good.
that has Black Cat in it.
Yep,
Tell me
Black
about
Cat.
it.
So it's basically about Black Cat trying to go in and steal some magical artifacts from a magical artifact from Scarlet Witch, and like they just go into like it kind of the same thing as the Avengers. They get into like a little hijinks and try to like battle each other, and it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. Like I loved seeing the Scarlet Witch team up with everything, and I've been absolutely in love with this series since the previous run. But yeah, it's basically her and what's her name? What is the apprentice's name?
Is it is it's
Zelda?
no, the
Something
apprentice
with a
is
Z.
isn't that what's her name?
Oh, the new sidekick girl. Um,
Oh, Amaranth?
Amaranth? No,
Yeah, yeah.
is it Amaranth?
Yeah.
I think it's Amaranth. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and I like that. They I like that she's starting to that she gets a sidekick. Like I absolutely love her like being able to teach like new
mhm,
sorceresses or magic people. It's
mhm.
a nice little thing. I can't wait to see what they do like more with her.
All right. I didn't get to read this one, so I wish I
Oh,
could comment.
it
But
was good. It was
did
cute.
did anyone read Phoenix number 8? We got to get through all this pretty fast.
All right.
Quick thoughts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I did.
Yeah. Uh I mean, I guess I liked it. I don't know. Do you guys like it?
yeah. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
It's a Jean Grey moment. I always gonna live for a Jean Grey moment, but I love her like accepting more of herself. They always end up doing this like storyline every now and then, but like her like finally accepting who she is and her place in it, like that's what I appreciated about it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it as well. I Part of me wanted it to move a little faster. I felt like they already did this a few issues ago where she already
Yeah.
died when what's his
Yeah.
name, the god killer killed her, and she came back and she had a whole conversation with the
Hmm.
Celestials and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
now they're kind of like doing it again. And I was kind of like, all right,
So good.
let's get to it. You're the shit. Just get to it.
Yeah.
You
Get
know, like
capped out.
but overall, I still like that. I'm real. This is one of my favorite series going on right now.
Right.
It helps that the art is amazing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Agreed.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know. All
Oh,
right.
yes.
Quick thoughts. Justice
For
League:
sure.
The Atom Project, issue number 2.
Um, do you guys want to go first
I mean,
or?
I didn't read it.
Oh. Did you read it,
I haven't
Aaron?
read this one.
So I've read both. It's
Nah.
okay. It's okay. It's so basically after Absolute Power. The powers, some heroes' powers are all over the place, and the two atoms are trying to take the powers back. So a bear has Captain Atom's power, and they have to. It's an okay series. It's. I'm not enjoying this series as much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know. I
it's
read
just
the issue number 1 and I was like, okay.
yeah. And they're really making Ray Palmer into the asshole of this
I'm
of
good.
this of this comic, and I'm kind of like that's very out of character from the Ray Palmer I know, and
Yeah.
I'm kind
Huh.
of like,
Very.
like to the point where
Right.
like he doesn't care that
An idiot version.
he doesn't care that his test subjects might get killed or get hurt during these experiments, and I'm like, this is so out of character, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's really Ray Palmer.
Right?
So yeah,
Okay.
I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah.
Right.
What about Star Wars Legacy of Vader?
Um, I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Mhm.
The title was interesting. This is kind of like a in between the
Mhm.
second and the third movie, so right before The Last Jedi. It really focuses on Kylo Ren and like kind of his obsession with Vader and the legacy of Vader. It's interesting. I'll have to see and grab another one and see where they're going with it. But it seems like this is when he takes over the First Order,
Okay.
and so we'll see where it goes. It was a decent first issue.
Is this an ongoing? I wasn't sure if it was a one shot or an ongoing or
It's ongoing.
not. Okay.
So, yeah, so they're gonna build on this and I guess show you how he really makes the First Order his own, or tries to with all of his. He's got some issues. So
All
yeah.
right. Quick, like one sentence thoughts for the last couple books that we read. JSA number 4. I thought not much happened in this book. It was like whatever.
Mm,
It
I
was a
didn't read it.
transitional book.
Yeah. I love Beth, but yeah, it was not much.
Okay. What about Namor
Yeah,
number
but I
7?
love Beth Chapel story, but yeah. I read that one. It was cute. We get a little like flashback of this of like Atlantis and everything. So I kind of liked seeing where this went. And like it was like a moment where like Namor refused the throne. So I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." So yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with Namor. I'm glad
Okay.
that he's getting a little shine.
All right. What about Spirits of Vengeance number 6?
That one I also didn't get to finish, but I I liked it because it had Spirit Rider in it, and we don't get much of her.
Okay.
Like we don't get that much of it, but I like that they're getting the team ups of all the Spirits of Vengeance.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Did you read Star Trek 31 or Section 31 from
Yes,
from
it was
IDW
good.
one shot?
Yeah, yeah, it was really good. Like I told y'all before, I'm slowly I've become a Star Trek fan, a Trekkie in like the past few years. But yeah, I love the Michelle Yeoh storyline of her, and I hope they do another one. I kind of hope that they do another continue this series.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
I read Spectacular Spider-Men issue number 12, and like just by virtue of Peter and Miles being the main characters in this, it's really cool to see them hang out,
Yeah,
team up. This issue was 2 Electros versus 2
right.
Spider-Men. They also have the ongoing
I like
the
that.
ongoing thing where there's a girl that got elemental powers, so it's it's earth, wind, water, fire, and so she's training with different heroes
Cute.
that have that power set, and so
Mm.
it's
Oh,
kind of interesting with this like new character. Her name's Elementary, like that's just her like
I
that's her
love that.
superhero
I
name,
like
I
you
love
I like
that.
know.
the name.
But
Yeah.
I'm wondering if she's
I do
gonna
too.
turn evil or not. Like there's just this like thing like
Hmm.
what's the twist on this, you know?
Mm.
And so
Right.
I really do like this series, and I think the art is really good. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's
Okay.
worth checking out if that's your thing. And uh, Shazam number 20 is Jonathan Kent getting de-aged and having to team up with Captain Marvel. It was a whatever. From what I read, it was a whatever issue. It
Mm.
wasn't that good. This series
Okay.
is struggling now that Mark Waid isn't writing it.
Yeah.
I think it.
Yeah.
I think it's struggling. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's everything that we read this week, right?
I think so. Definitely covered everything
I
I read.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we did it.
All right. We did it. We did it.
With some time to spare.
Thank you guys so much for coming out and being on this show and taking time out of your Thursday to be here.
Of course.
Before we get going though, what do you got coming up? Where can we find you? You know, all that sorts of stuff. Jecky, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, my name is Jeky. I have Jeky Comics. That's my name on all platforms. The idea is I'm creating a page to help newcomers navigate the really extensive world of comic books. So if that's something you're interested, give me a follow.
Awesome. Aaron, where can we find you?
But of course, you can find me at Kingakoa on TikTok and the Kingakoa on Instagram. Nothing coming up yet, but we'll stay tuned. We'll see.
All right. Both of you guys are great, so thank you guys so much. Not only were you great on this episode, and I'm thankful you guys were here, but you guys doing your own content elsewhere, you guys are definitely worth a follow. So people
Thank
who
you.
aren't
Appreciate it.
following
Thank you,
you,
thank
they're
you.
missing out. They're missing out.
Fair.
You know.
Fair.
For anyone out there who wants to follow me personally, you can follow me at This Is Dimithri on Instagram. That's probably the easiest way if you want to follow me personally. But relatively speaking, I do a lot of my content on the Keegs social media. So you can find the Keeg stuff at The Keeg Show. The Keeg Show on social media. TikTok and Instagram are our two biggest ones. But we're also on like Threads and Blue Sky and all that stuff. So Comic Talk is just one of the many shows that the Keeg does. So if you want to just find us there, the Keeg Show, you could keep up with everything that we got going on. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Or maybe you're listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those apps. You can find us there if you want to find the podcast there. However you choose to digest us, thank you for digesting us. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, write a review, do your thing. Let us know you're out there. Let us know you're out there listening. We do Comic Talk every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on Twitch and YouTube. And then we release the podcast later. So, thank you guys so much for being on this. Thank you, everybody
this was
out
fun.
there. Thank you. ComicShopLocator.com. Yes, find a comic shop near you. Go to ComicShopLocator.com. Support your local comic shops. And also support your local public libraries, because they probably got comics there. But even if they didn't, local public libraries are doing us a service, and show your support for
Right.
your local libraries.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been Comic Talk for the week of February 6th, 2025. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, guys.
Bye.
Get ready for the king. king.